lead generation techniques that are proven. Did anybody come here to find out how to have sellers call you? Okay. We are going to be covering quite a bit of techniques. I think I talked on earlier the whole business cards. We are going to be covering a technique called driving for dollars. Bruce and Terry are the experts at bandit signs, direct mail, and also online classifieds, door hangers, flyers, postcards, creating connections with realtors, mortgage brokers, attorneys, investors, wholesalers, and joining a chamber of commerce. Okay? Now that's like a 500-foot overview, right? I am going to ask everybody in here to pick one or two. Fair? I am not asking you to do all of these, because all of these aren't going to cater to what a person's comfortable in doing. I would encourage that as we are able to go through all of these, I would encourage that you take all of these in, pick and choose a couple that you think are doable. And I'll tell you that they're going to probably jump out at you of something that you are comfortable doing. All right? Jumping in head first. Does anybody fish? Is anybody any good at fishing? Okay. Well, I'm pretty bad at it. But who do you think's going to catch more fish? Single pole or multiple poles? Okay. Why?
More bait in the water.
More opportunities, right? All right. Is it okay if I can teach you guys, just on the business card one, how to get 500 fishing poles out there? Would you be okay with that? Has anybody ever heard of an ethical bribe before? Okay. We should talk about, what are you fishing for? We are fishing for motivated sellers. Okay, a motivated seller is a person that needs to sell for whatever reason. It could be a job transfer, it could be a job loss, it could be a divorce, it could be a kid being born, it could be 1,000 different things that you are going to discover when you ask people 15 to 20 questions. Okay? For all of you that do fish, what happens if you catch one of these guys?
Throw them back.
Do you like pack up, the hell with this, I'm going home? Or do you just keep on fishing? So you pull this thing off the hook and you put it back, a big old ugly carp, that are you gonna have calls that you are gonna talk to sellers that aren't interested, or maybe they just want to sell. They don't need to. They are gonna be the first to tell you that too. Okay. When you hear that, think of this fish.
Well, comment on that too. When you get those non-motivated sellers or the retail mentality sellers, they want to get full price and they want to get, cash. We can refer them to the realtors in our group as well. So
John Pencava, right up here.
Right, exactly. There we go.
So
if they're not represented by a realtor at that point, they're not listed on the market, you can certainly refer them out to people within our group, within our network here, and that's really a good benefit of finding the motivated sellers and being able to help them out. They want to be a retail seller, it's fine.
Yep. So on your property intake form, as you are able to get this type of fish, put refer to a realtor. Now, John Pencava is a business sponsor, part of our group. He bends over backwards to help people sell their house. And he is kind of different, and he helps the average investor get going. But a thing that he would probably also be interested in doing is getting a ton of listings, wouldn't you? Would you have any problem with that?
Not at all.
Do you think if we got 10 of these to you each month, do you think that's going to help cover the $400 business sponsor for the year?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Really good books up here for us to be able to give out.
Right, I just want to mention something because Bruce's point is good.
Matt.
I first started doing some of this stuff. I was like, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I had like specific guidelines. If somebody didn't answer the question the way I wanted, or just dismissed it.
Yeah.
Conversation. Yeah.
Us?
Yes, you mentioned that there was different ways of looking at things, and pretty much if somebody is calling you that has some sort of motivation to sell, whether it's they have equity, they'll sell for cash, or it's seller financing, almost every conversation or any question you have can be converted into selling.
Oh, yeah.
Real estate agent and cash, seller financing deal. So I was throwing away a lot of bad leads.
Yep.
That in actuality, I probably flushed like that ones.
Yeah.
So if you can, expand your education,
Yep.
base, you can see that, that there's almost anybody that calls you that has a reason to sell their house, you can put them in contact with somebody that can help them in that way.
Does anybody enjoy flushing thousands down the toilet?
No.
Okay. Every time you talk to all of these sellers, that is an awesome point, Matt.
So,
There are opportunities.
so what if they want to do a bunch of fix-up on their house first before they sell it? Do we have a carpenter in our group? What if they need to refinance because their payment's too high? They want to keep their house. I mean,
Yeah.
just trying to create opportunities. Would it be worth a couple of bucks for you, Sean, if you got that refinance a deal, you flip it back to the bird dog? Is there a legal and ethical way of doing that? A marketing fee, perhaps?
There are actually, I can actually legally pay for leads.
There you go.
Pay for closed sales.
We'll have to go through all that.
Yeah. John, is there any way that you can pay a marketing fee to back into the...
Realtors really can't.
Probably
They
not.
can do that. I know they do it. You just have to figure out.
Well,
Keith?
legally, ethically.
I think we should be careful of anything that's kind of gray is gray. Okay.
Well, insurance.
No,
I mean-
it's absolutely legal, it is legal to pay for leads.
A marketing lead, a marketing fee.
Leads legally, you cannot pay for the result of the lead.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Question, Sandra?
About that, the person wanted to I'm asking for somebody, and last week I got a card from them. So now, how does that work though? Because is this only going to be like for sales?
Well, if you're coming to our group meetings and you have the network here already, I mean, it'd be easy for you just to, if it's not a good seller lead for us at this point, we can't really help them because they're not willing to A, sell at a discount for cash, or B, sell with terms. You
What
could
a-
refer it to somebody else.
Bingo.
in our group here.
What about if you have that conversation, end it, and just tell them, hey, I will have someone call you. When you come to the club next time, find a person in there, go up to him and go, here. If you can give him that piece of paper, you are connecting the two. And a thing that is doing is that's helping the end homeowner, even if you don't get paid for it. A thing that you're doing is you're doing a good service compared to being the typical investor that I think has a negative connotation that we are out there to steal everyone's house for pennies on the dollar. By doing that is incredible because that's going to help Norm, that is going to help Sean, that is going to help John. And because the plan involves you talking to 100 people anyways, why not pass those leads? I do apologize, but we do have to keep going. When you are calling sellers, there is so many people that need to sell. there's plenty of fish in the sea, okay? I'm going to do a quick thing on the ethical bribe. So I think, has anybody heard of an ethical bribe before?
Mm-hmm.
2 people, and it's because you were on the call on Wednesday. Okay. An ethical bribe, so I'm going to ask everybody in here to kind of turn a piece of paper over and write down the answers to this question. So in your county of Lake County, Cook County, whatever county you're in, how many gas stations do you think are in that county? And you could get crazy and pick 2 counties, Cook County and Lake County, or McHenry County and Lake County. How many total shells, marathons, mobiles?
Right? You got an answer?
I would suggest to go to askmoney.com.
Okay.
They pop up.
So if we are going to use we're going to use the example of Lake County, how many gas stations do you think are in Lake County, guys? 300. Someone keep count of this, okay? How many convenient stores do you think? How many quickie marts?
Probably 100.
100?
More than that. 200 with the gas station being
Okay.
counted in that? Okay.
What about hardware stores? Okay. What about grocery stores? Is someone jotting down these answers? Okay.
I think Norm's got it covered.
How about doctor's offices? How many doctors you think are in Lake County?
A bunch. Lots.
How about dentists? Attorney's offices? Too many is the proper answer. Small businesses. Thousands, right? So whoever is adding this up, give me a round about total number. 4,000? 5,000? Okay.
4,000.
So let's call it 2,000, okay? If you have 2,000 fishing poles in the water, do you think you'll catch any fish? Can I teach you how to do that using an ethical bribe? So is that fair? Okay. So I think I kind of covered that one. All right. So our ethical bribe is a $100 bill. And the bribe is that business card that I gave you. So do you see on one end is all of the info of how to contact me, and the other side is a $100 bill. How often do you pass a $100 bill and don't just kind of look twice at it? Okay? So let's say I was able to go into all those gas stations. If we said 300, right? Say if it took me 6 months to go into every single one of those 300 gas stations, and I talk to the owner and I say, hey, would it be okay if I put up a stack of these business cards on your front counter, and in exchange for that, for every house that I am able to buy, I will give you $100. Now those guys are in the business of buying candy for 50 cents and being able to sell it for $1, right? So they have a cost of 50 cents, their profit is 50 cents. How much is it costing them to put up a business card on the front counter? How much does it profit them when you come in with a $100 bill? Huh? 100%, right? Okay? That profit is incredible. Would it be okay if I paid this $100 and if you didn't even have to pay that out of your pocket? Would you go do the hard part of going and talking to 300 gas stations? Would you? This is the most cost-effective avenue of getting into this business. And when I got in, I was broke, okay? I had no clue what to do next, but I could afford business cards. That's it. I couldn't do bandit signs. A $100 sign stapler was way out of the question. I was able to buy business cards. So do you think if you put 100 business cards and 300 different gas stations that traffic 1,000 people per day, do you think anyone's going to pick this card up? Okay. Do you think the person that owns the gas station is going to throw out your cards? Why? Because you did an ethical bribe. Don't throw these out, and I will pay you money. Now, here's the thing that's great. Until you pay them the first $100 bill, they think you're full of crap. Okay? When you come in with a $100 bill that I will pay for, they go, holy cow, he'll actually pay me. Okay? And that's when it becomes incredible. Then a thing that's going to happen is you're going to have to hire someone to answer your phones. Is that a good problem to have? Okay? Pay them $10 an hour. There's plenty of kids that would love to answer phones all day for $10 an hour. And have them fill out your form. Pretty good, huh? What if you had 2,000 of those fishing poles out there? It would probably take you some time, but do you understand how many sellers that are desperate to talk to someone would pick up that call? Okay, and this is just one of like the 15 different avenues that you could do to get in contact with sellers. This is to create your own cash producing machine. All right. I would encourage you in the first month to get to at least 25 gas stations and create that connection. Okay, 25 to 50. If you do 50, you're doing awesome. Okay, each gas station traffics 1,000 people per day. Those exposures create phone leads. Every phone call to you is worth 5 outbound phone calls. Why is that? Because they're motivated.
Taking the initiative, not you.
What are you looking for? So are you looking for sellers that are motivated or are unmotivated? So if they're calling you, you are doing things right. Back to Google. When you have your account on Gmail, there's a thing called a Google Drive. It's fantastic. I have it on my phone, tablet, home computer. It gives you the ability to keep organized, okay? Please do not get into this business thinking that you can just wing it. Winging it doesn't work, okay? Pieces of paper get lost. Ask me how I know. A Google Drive is incredible. I'm going to ask you to create a spreadsheet to track all of your fishing poles. Do you think if you have fishing poles, you ought to probably track them? Figure out, you should probably call them back once in a while, okay? So I would encourage you to have date established, the description of the property, the address, city, state, phone number, all that good stuff. Any of your notes, every time you pay them, jot that down as well. You're going to have locations that do exponentially better than others. Maybe we buy them a steak dinner to Gibson's. Okay? Driving for dollars. This top picture here is what an absolute ton of sellers are going through today. They are in positions that they're going through divorce because of this, because financial issues. Back in 2006, 2007, there was quite a bit of arms and and quite a bit of mortgages that people can't afford anymore. I was in a place that I was paying $1,800 and I couldn't afford $2,700. I went from the income back to an income that I couldn't afford that. I was that top person, okay? Driving for dollars. Has anybody ever seen a for sale by owner sign? Do you drive by it and think twice? For sale by owner sign tells me that they often are one of two different people. Either they don't have the equity to hire a realtor because no one enjoys selling their own house. True? That's pretty much up there with like a, I don't know.
Root canal.
Right.
Did you say root canal? There you go. I said the same thing.
So it is, right? It's painful to have people come into your own house and tell you their thoughts of it. People don't. That's a tough thing to do. For sale by owner tells me that they could be they could owe more on the house than what the house is worth, or the house is free and clear and they're just cheap. Okay, I'll tell you there's a lot of people that are in that category too. I'll tell you that 33% of our country's homes are owned free and clear. A lot of them are cheap. That's how the home is, free and clear. So I will tell you that both of those people, both a person that is underwater would be an awesome lead for me. And I promise you, we can help those people when other investors can't. Bruce can help a person that owns a house free and clear because he can pay all cash, close quickly. We have those type of alternatives here. I encourage that as you have this folder here, could I have one of those? Mm-hmm. Every day you are going to be driving to pick up the kids, drop off the kids, go to your job, to go talk to people. Keep an eye out for these things. Every time you are able to see them, pull out a property intake form, jot down the phone number. Even if you can't call them because you are driving, jot it down. Okay? That is one of your 100 leads each week. Also, houses for rent. Oftentimes, people will put their house up for rent either because they are in the business of it, but I often find that people put their houses up for rent because they are underwater and they're trying to stop the bleeding. So if their payment is $1,800 per month and they can't afford it anymore, if they can collect $1,300 per month, that isn't fully stopping the bleeding, but that's what people are doing today. Call those people, because oftentimes people that own houses that aren't in them, has anybody owned any properties as a rental? Okay. Is it enjoyable?
Good job.
Okay. Have you ever had to chase checks before?
Yep.
Have you ever had checks bounce?
Yep.
Toilets break? Basements flood? Does that sound like any fun to anybody? Okay. Call these people. I promise you they are going to be motivated to talk with you. Okay? Driving for dollars. Often these signs produce very little results because people are driving past too fast and they can't get the information down. I would encourage that you pull over. A thing that I do is I pull over and I take a picture of it, and then I go home. Because I can go home, pull up the phone, and be able to zoom in and get the phone number. That's the fastest thing that you could do so isn't that creepy. Sellers often are happy just to get phone calls. Okay, I have had people that I've talked to that literally didn't get a phone call for 6 months. Just to talk to anybody, just to have a person kind of interested, they were excited. Call these people. Those people are motivated. This here, I talk about financially distressed. They often can't afford a realtor. If a house is underwater and if they're going to put it up with a realtor, they have to come out of pocket at the closing to sell their house. Now, if you had to answer this question, do you think people enjoy having to come out of pocket $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $70,000 to sell your house? Would you agree that that would kind of suck? And if you had an alternative to that, do you think they would be open to it?